Mailbag Tuesday, and the first question's from Phillip. Phillip wants to know a deep sleeper.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Smitty.
Take a lap.
Phillip wants to know, give me a deep sleeper. I have a Startup Dynasty Draft Friday. Thank you, Phillip, for the question, bro. And I'm gonna dig deep on this one. I'm gonna give you like different levels of because I don't know what deep means to you. That sounds like Bryan Edwards level, bro. Throw him on the board. The Raider only caught 11 balls last year, but 193, 1 TD. A lot of potential. The opportunity is still TBD. Aguilar could re-sign, but if he doesn't, then Edwards is a clear path to probably, I don't know, Ruggs. I don't know that I'm sold on Ruggs. You could make a case that Edwards could be better than Ruggs. In fact, I'll make the case now. At me. The real wide receiver one is Darren Waller, the baller, let's be real. But Edwards has a lot of appeal. The dude is a beast. If Aguilar is gone, he only has Ruggs to compete with for wide receiver targets. And he's 6'3", 215, beast of a prospect, man. Go watch film on Bryan Edwards if you don't know who he is. You're going to be like, wow, wait a minute. Where did he come from? Why was nobody talking about him? Why didn't he get vaulted into a better spot or get playing time? Didn't really do anything crazy impressive in 2020. How could he from the 3 spot on a team that really focused on giving Darren Waller the football? I don't love Oakland, but Las Vegas, I'm never going to get that right. But at the same time, I think they throw enough that Waller will get his, and another wide receiver could certainly get, 70 receptions for 1,000 yards and like 5-6 touchdowns. That could be Edwards. If you want a deep sleeper, Phillip, Edwards qualifies. I'm not making any promises. I'm not telling you to draft the guy high at all, middle round range even. No, late, final picks of your draft. Edwards. I wouldn't be totally surprised either if like hype started to build. The news about Aguilar not returning breaks or something, and then people start getting really amped, and you start seeing his name in news wires, and people love jumping on a trendy name, an unknown-ish wide receiver that does have appeal and size at 6'3", 215. He's got the makings of one of those like trendy, everybody get behind him, you start hearing his name, and him becoming everybody's favorite unknown player, because people love to back a player that nobody really knows or talks about. It makes them feel special. It makes a person feel like everyone's looking at them and going, man, what does he do? Where does he get his information? Does he sit there just smoking cigars and coming up with this shit in his den? Bryan Edwards, baby. Phillip, get you some shares in 2021, bro. Okay, I'm going to comb through the rankings here on my sleeperu.com. Sleeperu.com. Get your bold rankings from me. And I'm going to try and pick a couple names that look appealing from this deep level. Gandy Golden, I love Gandy Golden, but the opportunity wasn't there. Michael Gallup is interesting. Where does he go? I could see, like with Edwards, his value kind of like coming up and climbing really fast depending on what happens. But like right now, when there's no news, you don't know what's going on, you don't know where he's going to go. Gallup has a lot of appeal because he's going to by default be ranked out of the top like 65 wide receivers, and that puts him in deep category, Phillip. Gabriel Davis, I like a lot. The opportunity may or may not be there, Meng, but if he gets the ball, if Josh Allen makes him a favorite target, you'll see him turn from rags to riches pretty quick. Christian Kirk, Shenault. Now, he's not like a deep, Phillip. More of the deep variety. Still 50 to 60 on the wide receiver rankings for a lot of people. People not in the know. If it isn't going to be DJ Chark that Lawrence makes into a superstar, it could be Shenault. And after that, we're getting to like pretty well-known territory. Michael Pittman. Michael Pittman might be the last stop on the deep train, bro. Although I don't like the fact that he's not even willing to consider giving his number 11 jersey to Carson Wentz. That's not a good kickoff to the relationship, bro. As for running backs, Mike Davis, I'm going to throw out a lot of these handcuffs. Tony Pollard, Nyheim Hines still, people will forget about him, but he still got upside in PPR. And if Taylor went down, he'd be really good. I had a follower comment on that on my Instagram today, and I said, something's got to happen, a falter, an injury. So he's going to be happy to hear that I do like him if something does go down. But Taylor has to falter or get hurt. Alexander Mattison, I don't need to talk about the super handcuffs, but those are my guys. Those are my deep sleepers if you can get them late. Some people don't draft backups at all, and in those leagues, I'm cleaning up. As for running backs, there aren't a lot of very lowly ranked running backs kind of hiding. I think a lot of the rookies in this rookie draft class in 2021 will be some of the guys that might qualify for what you're talking about to some degree. Not deep sleeper, but like pretty deep. Phillip, we got to define what you're even talking about, bro. And can I even find a quarterback that I like in that range? Jalen Hurts was my guy last year. All offseason long, I'm telling people, watch out. By midseason or a little bit later, he will take over as a starter in Philly. And people laughed at me over and over. And I've got receipts to prove it. Yeah, I'm combing the QBs and I'm not seeing anybody that pops out. I just really like the guys like Lawrence and I think the QB pool is so deep. You don't need to go hunting for breakouts that deep. And I don't really see anybody. I think the value could be in like Russell Wilson falling to 7 or 8 overall by default. Although some hyped up news on him moving, not moving could vault him back into the conversation of like 5, 6, 7. But if you're talking like after, of course, Herbert, Watson, all the top dogs, Lamar, 7, 8, 9, depending on if people rank Hurts above them, you're talking about 8 or 9 for Russell Wilson. I love Burrow. These are not deep sleepers, but I'm merely telling you that at QB, I don't think you got to go that route. Lawrence, I like Wilson. The rookies I know, but I still like them. The QBs die off pretty quickly after about 15. Again, Mike Davis, Alexander Mattison, Lat Murray, not deep sleepers, Phillip, but win a league players that are hiding in draft value you can afford to waste a near double-digit pick on. Great question, though, and if you want your question answered here on the Mailbag Tuesday, which I think we're going to start doing, drop it in the comments below on this YouTube video. Put a hashtag mailbag, and I will consider it for next week's show, but ask away.
This is the Fantasy Football Show with your host, Smitty.
Top 5 running back.
You're watching the Fantasy Football Show.
Smitty.